Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. Today we have another Distro Wars, and we are going to look at TROMJaro that we looked at yesterday, and we are going to pit this up against its parent Manjaro, which will come out in the lead. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and we will get started with our show in just a few minutes. We're going to wait for a few more folks to jump on. In the meantime, let's see who is here. We are also monitoring on the Discord server, so if you want to follow along on the Discord server, we are on the live chat over there. All right, let's see. Leo, Manjaro is a constant frustration for you, always refusing to boot. Yeah, I guess there's always somebody, right? Q1 Fiend is waiting for the kitty cam, waiting for the cam, waiting for the cam. That's right. All right, let's see. How's it going there, Vince? All right. Greetings, Moonbase Alpha Grays. Is the mothership flying by you yet? I think there should be a mothership shooting by over there. We're harvesting a group of people to exit this crazy planet. Ugh, a lot of weird stuff going on in the world anyway. Okay, yeah, we have a couple of really bad jokes. I mean, what is an Australian's favorite desktop environment? Mate, of course. All right, but Vince counters back. What happens if you throw your toast at the computer? A veggie mate sandwich. Ow. Ooh, these are painful. These are painful. Shh, don't wake the kitty. That's right, quietly screams. Are you quietly screaming to wake up the kitty? Let's see. Good evening, Renard. Hello, is it Katito622? Greetings, Joe. Or is that hello, Joe? How's it going there? Papal Penguin has showed up. Thomas Holt, greetings to you, Chip. How's it going? Hey, Chip, I found that mouse pad. It was in the printer. I remember I was using it to do the printer tests on Fedora versus, was it Fedora versus, I forget what other distro to install them. Well, that's what I was scanning in with the scanner, and I just left it there. So I found the mouse pad, Chip. If you want to get together for coffee soon, I will bring you a Switch to Linux, you fool mouse pad. I think it's a Switch to Linux, you fool. It's either the Switch to Linux, you fool, or it's the Code of Conduct mouse pad. I don't know. Anyway, let me know. Let's see. Sorry, TROMJaro's ISO images are too old. That's one of the concerns. Yep. Only trouble I have with Manjaro is grub borking itself up, requiring a C root and reinstalling grub. All right. Gary Holtzman is live and talking about some company advertising and charging for Linux on his channel. Came in late and don't know for sure who he is speaking of. He's speaking of me, of course. I'm selling Linux. You guys didn't know this? No, of course I'm not doing that. Oh, the mothership has already went by. All right. Well, you should see it come by after we've done our harvest. We're going to go around the whole planet for about a day. So you'll see it flying by tomorrow, probably in time for the show tomorrow. You'll see it flying back to we're basically taking a group of people up to colonize a moon of Betelgeuse. That's why the Betelgeuse intensity light on that star is getting dim, because we're actually sucking power out of it to power our new colony on one of its moons. Let's see. Lots of things in the scanner as well. Yeah, always wanted to switch to Manjaro. There you go. All right. Hello, Lard. Greetings. Good morning from the UK. Local time there is 4 minutes. There you go. All right. I'm drinking me some more of my peach mango tea. I actually made this tea yesterday and forgot about it until this morning. Then, I just drink tea at night. So that's actually how productive I was yesterday, that I didn't even stop and wonder, maybe I should get something to drink or whatever. So day old mango peach tea, still not too bad, but it is cold though. So, not a huge fan of that, but anyway, not too bad. All right, shall we dive on in? We should jump on in while I have 0 current viewers, because YouTube's analytics are still going weird on me. Let's go to the live page, see what the live page is suggesting. Oh, live page is suggesting 32 of you are watching, not 0. Okay, it's good to know. I mean, I always knew that guy who called me a dropkick was right, though. I'm never going to get any viewers. I'm just going to get 30 views a day, coming up forward. What a loon. All right, guys. We have about 5 folks on right now. We got to get started just in time for Vince to walk away. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started here, shall we? Let's go ahead and roll back over to our basic title. I'm going to need to find my web browser, and what are we doing first? All right. Get ready. Getting over them butterflies. No, kidding. I don't get butterflies. All right, let's go ahead and jump on in, shall we? Welcome back to Switch to Linux. This is DistroWars, and today we are going to look at two distributions, both based on Arch. TROMJaro is actually based on Manjaro, and we're also looking at Manjaro. So TROMJaro versus Manjaro. Two Jaros. It's the battle of the Jaros. Someone get us some peanut butter and jelly, because we got a bunch of jars on the field here. But anyway, before we dive on into the video, if you'd like to help support the channel, go ahead and have a look at the links in the description down below. I do have Patreon, patreon.com/TomM, T-O-M-M. And you can also find me over on thinklifemedia.com. That's my own personal support page as well. Of course, there's some links to some social media sites if you use any of those. I pretty much use them just to post videos. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive on in. First, we want to have a look at TROMJaro. Now, TROMJaro is supposedly a trade-free operating system that we looked at here yesterday, and it just caused us to do a little bit of head scratch. Like, it really, at the end of the day, TROMJaro seems like a Manjaro with custom themes that has a bunch of browser extensions on Firefox. So if we head on over to the About page, it actually gives us information about the build at the very bottom, and we can actually come over to here to their GitLab page. We can see the package that it has. Pretty much just some theming on a variety of different things. We're updating a mirror list. We're updating some GDM themes, Calamaris themes. There's a cloud software. There's a grub theme, settings, and Pacman URL handler. There's a Gnome theme, a mirror list settings, a grub theme, Calamaris settings, Gnome settings, and ISO profiles. That is the extent of what has been changed from the system. Now, what it does have going for it is kind of like you have with your Gnome extensions, where you can go on and install extensions from the web browser. These here are just kind of random. It's not anything more than just random stuff. But if you wanted to go ahead and install something, you could just go ahead and click on the button down here and hit the install button. Of course, it won't do anything right here because I'm not actually on the distro right this second. But you click on this guy here and it's going to install the application. Now, it does take a long time. I actually clicked one last night as part of my video, and about 5 minutes later, it still was sitting there stuck on, we're installing Thunderbird now. And do it through Pacman. It'll go a little bit quicker. We'll go ahead and have a look at that as we dig through. Now, of course, we only have one desktop environment. We don't really have a choice, and that is based on Gnome. But it is a pretty nice looking Gnome nonetheless. The other thing I'd like to show you about it is, remembering this is based on Manjaro, which is based on Arch. When we go over to our download, here's how to flash it. There's an image writer for Linux, Rufus, Etcher. There's booting it and testing it. But when we go down to the installation, we have, let's go down and see what we're looking at here. We have a version from 4 months ago. We have a version from 3 months ago. Mind you, this is based on Arch. A 3-month-old Arch install is pretty stinking old. In fact, it failed to update several times. I ended up having to use the mirrors that are inside of the distribution itself, and I think they were actually bouncing back signal up from the moon or whatever. It took an hour to update the system. Now, Manjaro, on the other hand, of course, is certainly a much larger, much more common and popular operating system. This is what TROMJaro is based on, and it's basically an Arch system that holds packages back for a little bit more testing before pushing them out. It does have a little bit of negative in the community that occasionally it will blow itself up. In other words, it will kind of stop working sometimes, particularly if you're running all of the updates in the POMOC GUI instead of running them through the terminal. But if you wanted to go ahead and download Manjaro, you actually have a lot of options. So as far as official ones, we have XFCE, we have Plasma, we have Gnome, we have the Architect, which will allow you to build your own version. And there actually is inside of the community, there's some community ones. We have Awesome, Beastbomb, Budgie, Cinnamon, i3, Mate, and OpenBox. There's a 32-bit for XFCE. There's ARM for your Pinebook Pro, where you have 2 options there. There's a Raspberry Pi 4, 3 options. Rock Pi 4 and a Rock Pro 64. Never heard of a Rock Pro. A Rock Pi though, that sounds like it's gonna hurt my teeth. I don't want a Rock Pi. That might hurt my teeth. But so you have a lot more options. But we want to have a look at what these guys look like. So we're gonna go ahead and start out with TROMJaro and see what the distribution actually looks like, and then we'll poke around with a few of the different settings and the options that we have within it. So we'll give it just a moment to boot up, and then we'll be back. I hope it's booting. I don't know what it's doing. Whoa, we have a mouse cursor. Sweet. Okay, so here we are on the desktop. So this is TROMJaro. And what we actually have here is everything about the system is all basically designed to be flat and modern. So if you like material design, you will probably really like this one. There's everything in here from the icons. In fact, they even describe their icons on their website as flat and washed out, which I never thought would be a compliment. I'd be like, I'm looking at this thing, it just looks so flat and washed out, and I'd think that that'd be a negative. But no, apparently flat and washed out's a positive, unless they're promoting negatives on their website. So we'll give them that. If you head on over, everything is inside of these menus down here, which I actually find a little bit annoying, but I mean, it's good to have a little bit of organization, but I do find that everything in menus is actually a little on the annoying side. But that's kind of going to be a matter of preference. So we have, our basic tools. Let's go ahead and look at our system monitor while we're going here, see what it's doing. So it does look like it's using about 700 gigs of memory. 700 gigs. Wow, that's heavy. 700 megabytes of memory there. And CPUs are going. I don't know why CPUs are going so much, but CPUs are sitting there humming at about 30-40%. That's very interesting, actually. We have, as far as sound and video, we have SM, MPV. There's few other tools in there. We do have the full LibreOffice suite installed by default. It's pretty much the only software application outside of your basic operating system things. And so here's the full LibreOffice, and they did give us the full LibreOffice installed there. We have our Firefox. Here's for graphics. So nothing too out of the ordinary. And here is your accessories. So for me, it's a little, let's go ahead and move this guy out of the way. The organization is a little crazy. The theming is actually pretty nice, and I really don't like material design, but I do find that the theming is pretty nice out of the box. It's a little bit unique. Everything's over here. Of course, our close buttons and stuff are over on the... We have a minimize and a close. We don't have a maximize, although we do have the tweak tool installed. But everything else there is all right. Now, let's go ahead and... I do like their terminal. Nice transparency there. That's pretty nice. Since they're both running a build off of Arch, they're both going to be running all of the latest software once you get it updated. So we're GNOME 3.34.2. Let's see if there's anything else we can spot in there, but it should be pretty basic, pretty normal run-of-the-mill. Now, the one place where TROMJaro is definitely different is they seem to be, an offshoot of the trade free movement, which I think is maybe a political movement. I know pretty much nothing else about it. So here, when we actually log into the site, of course, this is where if you are logged into the system here, you can click on the install button, enter your super secret password. That's definitely not 123, and we'll see if this guy actually downloads and installs. So it actually looks like it is downloading stuff. Maybe. It was said it was downloading, but now it's refreshing some details there, and Details? Okay. So it seems like it's actually working this time. It was not working for me yesterday. All right. So again, the only thing that's really different here is we have a variety of extensions already installed. We have uBlock Origin, HTTPS Everywhere, Privacy Badger, all fairly recommended extensions to install according to most people. We do have a video downloader. Some of those are spyware, some of those are not. I don't know anything about this one. We have Open and Sci-Hub, and we have a Wayback Machine so that if you get to a website that's not there, it will go onto the Wayback Machine to grab the latest version or whatever else. So that's an interesting thing. Now let's go back here and focus on, let's see, it looks like that has been installed successfully. So that's good. So it is actually going back now and installing the applications faster than it did yesterday. It didn't seem to want to work. So if you head on over to the apps page, you can come over here and grab things. You can see this website is pretty slow. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. So if I wanted to look for let's look for OBS if I know what I'm kind of looking for. Let's see if it finds. So there's OBS, so I can go ahead and install it. So you have the option here to use this install script. It does take a little bit of time. Of course, we have Pamuk up here as well. So if I really wanted to, I could, come over here and probably install something a little bit faster as long as it's in one of the repositories. So there you go. You have that as an option. So other than that, of course, the theming, very much like Apple, everything's up in the toolbar. Other than that, I don't really see a lot of major differences between this and Manjaro. Now, if you like this type of theming, the material design, then for sure, I think it's a fine desktop. I think this is our default wallpaper that comes in out of the box. We do have some theming options as well. Let's go ahead and show you that. Let's go with tweaks. The tweaks tool is installed out of the box. So here we have the options. You do need to make this bigger, I have found. If that's not large, then it will not work right. So here we actually have a variety of colors. So basically all these is different, just different highlight colors basically. So you can kind of see what the highlight colors are looking like. So it is nice in the respect that it does have your basic flat material, modern design. I personally don't like this type of design. That's a very subjective thing, so I'm not going to say it's horrible on that basis alone. But for me, who doesn't like this type of look and appearance, it's not exactly my cup of tea. Does it really bring us anything that's really outstanding from Manjaro? Probably not. If I want a Firefox that has a lot of extensions pre-installed, sure. If I want material theming and design, sure, seems fine. Especially if I want Gnome. Now, if I don't want Gnome, I don't like material design, and I really don't care to have the default Firefox extensions, I don't see any reason to use this distribution as opposed to anything else. But let's go ahead and have a look at Gnome. Gnome. Let's have a look at Manjaro next. Freudian slips there. So let's go ahead and have a look at Manjaro, and we'll be back on that desktop. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and power this guy off. We'll have a look at some comments and boot on into Manjaro here. And let's have a look at some comments. Let's see. Okay, name is pronounced like in Spanish. Non hablo Ingles. Yeah. whatever, however you say that. I don't know. I've never taken Spanish. Sorry. Okay. Switch to Linux. They moved your wife to a nursing home. That's not good. I hope it's just a temporary thing. Is she coming home soon, or does it look just like a rehab type thing? Morning. Laird is the legal title. All right. First live stream I've ever watched from you. Second live stream ever. Awesome. Well, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I can't pronounce a lot of people's names. You're not alone. Linux Mint user. Very cool. Awesome. Bunsen Labs. MX Linux user there. Very good. Cool choices. MX for better computing. Bunsen Lab for the worst computer. Yeah. Oh, no. Reverse that. All right. Okay, let's see. Autocorrect, Church Christ. What? Cool. I go to church. I worship Christ. All right. Can't chat now. All right. 32-bit XFCE, however, has been put into hibernation. The mirrors to update some things don't seem to be working. Ooh, yeah, that's true. TROMJaro, never heard of that. Yeah, I got somebody asked me to have a look at it. However, somebody did tell me on Discord, though, that TROMJaro is actually a Linux distribution for trombone players. So I wanted to go ahead and create TROMJaro and see if that's a Linux distribution for trumpet supporters or for trumpet players. I don't know. What do you guys think? Okay. Compiling on a Void Linux. There you go. Gonna use Void mainly for testing. All right. Off to bed. Well, we'll see you, Laird. 132-bit Acer netbook I love. Trying to find a better distro than Mint Peppermint for it. Is there a better distro? I mean, those are really good distros, man. Wallpaper looks like a third grader drew it. It's possible. Base distros still stable. I've never had a problem with them. Some people say they are. I will SSH into my machine using my password 123. Don't do it, man. My super secret password. How'd you figure out my super secret password? All right, let's see. Google's material design guidelines would like to know your location. Of course they would. Do you expect anything else? My adopted Linux distro. All right, I have to look at the bug again. All right. Can't stand the bars on the top and on the side. Yep. Well, it looks like Manjaro did the exact same thing. All right, let's go ahead and jump on over to Manjaro, shall we? And here we are on Manjaro. Now, the first thing out of the box is Manjaro gives us a very nice welcome screen. If this is your first time logging in, there's a lot of information, readmes, forums, things like this. We also have Gnome Layouts Manager, where you can actually choose things. Now, this is something that the TROMJaro said they have a lot of customization, but I was not able to find it. You can see that Manjaro actually does have a lot of different things. So here, oh, really? It wants my permission to change that one, but not the first layout change? I don't know. It actually wants to install a GNOME shell. All right, let's go ahead and let it install its thing and see what it does. All right. Transaction successfully finished. That's almost exactly what we had, literally. What was the difference? I mean, okay, we booted on a completely different layout. I don't know what the difference was. Here's a more modern. Here's your basic GNOME layout, which is going to be like more of a vanilla GNOME. It's your layout there. And here's more of a Mate type layout. Okay. So this one's closest to what we had out of the box. I think this was at the bottom, like the other one. So I changed the layout. And apparently, you don't necessarily, you apparently don't have the option to go back to the original one right out of the box, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, here is the, I really don't like that menu. Wow. Let's just go back to the basic Manjaro one. Let's do that. And reload desktop. So we do have nice options to reload everything right out of the box. So that's good. Let's go ahead and head back home. The other thing is we have the applications right here. Now, Manjaro does give us this application installer. We still do have the same POMAC that we had on the other system as well. But this one here will give you very easily sorted and organized the most common various things. So if you want to install Brave, Chromium, Midori, Opera, Firefox is already installed by default. Under email, they have given us Evolution, my favorite. I like that one. Thunderbird and Selfread. I've never played with Selfread before. Manjaro on installation does give you the option of which Office suite that you would like to install. So I went ahead and installed it with LibreOffice simply because that's what TROMJaro did out of the box. You have the option of no Office, Free Office, or LibreOffice. You have other options as well. So there's only Office editors, MS Office, which is, I'm guessing, maybe ICE applications. I'm not sure exactly what that's going to give us. Free Office. Now we have a still and a fresh. The fresh is basically like a rolling version of Office. The still is basically a maintain. So these are all of your most common applications here without having to dig through POMAC for them. All right. We do actually have caffeine up here on the bar. This is very nice. And when I'm running Gnome, I always want to use caffeine because if I'm watching like a YouTube video or something, the desktop will actually go into hibernation mode. I can go ahead and enable caffeine. It prevents my desktop from ever sleeping. And then if I'm stepping away from the computer, I can disable it and let the desktop go into hibernation mode. All right, we have our basic applications. That should be all of them. That's activities. Here's our applications. So you can see here, they go the opposite direction and they don't organize anything. I kind of like what things like Fedora is going to do, where it puts all your system utilities inside of one folder, but leaves everything else out. So this one has the opposite problem of TROMJaro, where it is a total mess in there. And that's actually a big reason why I don't like Gnome. It's just too hard to find stuff. Looking at our system resources, this is running on approximately the same memory, 800 gigabytes. No, 800 megabytes. So about the same, As far as applications out of the box, let's just make any observations here. It doesn't appear as though we have anything major. We do have Steam installed by default. That's something that's new. I think the layouts is our Manjaro layout tool. Yep. So that's our layout tool there. Here's our settings for that. So really, oh, and look at that. We have the option to run desktop icons. That's good. That's actually something I like to use. So, okay. Online accounts, tweak tools, automatic dark theme, Manjaro branding. We can turn that on if we want. Let's go ahead and enter our super secret password. That's definitely not 123. I'm not sure. It's not wanting to turn on, but maybe it's just doing something in the background. Anyway, so our Firefox here is pretty much standard out of the box Firefox, nothing pre-installed. Which is actually kind of my preference. I would prefer to go ahead and harden and install the things that I would like to use personally. I do like the theming in Manjaro quite a bit better. Let's see if the tweaks tool is installed here. It is. And let's see what other theming options that we have inside of this one. So we do have other things as well. Let's go ahead and just make this guy a little bit bigger so that we can hopefully get a bigger application here. So there's Matcha C. There's just a few different options here. So I like the theming in Manjaro better. It's not quite as flat, quite as, quite modern. And really, I think Manjaro has more going for it. It has more user-friendly tools, more of a community behind it. And here's the other option we didn't even mention, maybe earlier in the introduction, but we have a variety of desktop environments to choose from. I'm still not seeing those desktop icons I asked for. So let me go ahead and log out and log back in and see if I have desktop icons when I log back in here. So with that, we'll see if there's anything else to go with here. Let's go here. We also, though, have the option of Gnome or Gnome Classic. Enter my super secret password. That is definitely not 123. And let's see what we get here. Still not having the option for desktop icons. Let's go ahead and turn that off at this point. But we'll see whatever happens. Neither one of those gave us that. So there is Manjaro. So TROMJaro, the derivative of Manjaro, which is supposed to be a trade-free operating system, versus Manjaro. Which one's better? Honestly, unless you specifically wanted the tools in their Firefox or really like material design, I would just go to Manjaro. You have more options, better options. You have more recent ISO images that aren't half broken and you don't have to fight with to get them installed. They do take some extra time for theming options, things like that. And I personally don't like material design. If you do, you might like TROMJaro better in that respect. But really all I see in TROMJaro is an instance of Manjaro GNOME with material design, the ability to install applications from their website, and some extensions in Firefox. I don't specifically see the point of it, but at the same time, it's the Linux world. There's always more projects out there, and who knows? And, I wish the best of the developers and things. Just my thoughts, my opinions. But let me know your thoughts and your opinions in the comments down below. All right, let's go ahead and shut this guy down and shoot off so we can read through the comments here. All right. Your powers are growing stronger, Present Arms. I'm taking the bar and Manjaro Budgie and move it from the top to the bottom. Oh, I thought you said you're studying to become a lawyer on Manjaro Budgie, but okay. Rehab for about 2 months. Oh boy. Well, we will continue praying for her, man. Endless OS for all of your daily needs. If my daily needs do not include the internet access, I need Wikipedia without the internet. All right. Hello, Ron. Greetings. And chat. Yes. Let's see. Not much going on over there at Discord. Where's all my Discorders at? Hello, Jylene's over there, and the Quantum Alpha is over there as well. Let's see here. Let's see. Of course, there's a whole lot of guys hanging out in the voice chat over there. All right. Let's see. TROMJaro, make Linux great. Oh man, that would just be fun. That would be fun. Trombone player, send it to DT. Where's DT at? All right. It wasn't even him that commented that on the thread. Oh man, I lost my place. I lost my place in my comments again. There we are. Yay, I found it. All right. I like rolling distros. You're a Kubuntorian. All right. Having suspend issues with 5302396 and wife's 19.3. Not want to wake up correctly. Have you seen this? No, when I start thinking of suspend issues, I'm wondering if there's enough, like a swap file may not do it. You may need a separate swap partition. But if it's just on a certain kernel, I have not been hearing good things specifically about Linux kernel 5.3. I don't know. It is supported for another several years yet? 417, I think, or 4, whatever one I'm on, which is like an old kernel. What am I on? I have like no issues with this system. I am on... Am I 413? Yeah, I'm on 413 right now. No issues. But I'm also not running 19.3 either, though. So, no, I haven't. Look around. There's other kernels that are supported for longer times. You might check those out. All right. Some reason Vivaldi was missing a package. Huh. Interesting. That's why I like Manjaro better. Yeah. I installed Manjaro last night with with the mate desktop. And it broke after the very first update. Is this common? The very first update due in the terminal, not in PAMAC. Generally, doing the updates in the terminal are much more secure. I have heard of that. Usually the first update on PAMAC could do that. You can change Manjaro Gnome design. Yes, you can. Running caffeine on Manjaro. I'm always running caffeine in my veins. All right, what were we saying? What? All right. Inspiration from Theranos and Zornos. Let us know, at least so we know what to expect a bunch of distributions to suddenly have layout switchers. Hey, man. Be nice if my brain had a little system tray icon to turn my caffeine on and off. I know. Wouldn't it be awesome? You can always get an IV, though, right? Just put an IV in. Caffeinated ID. I need a caffeine patch on one arm and a meat patch on the other. 1.21 gigawatts. All right. Let's see. Caffeine works for me on all kernels. Okay. I think I have caffeine running on my Linux Mint KDE. Be watching a video with caffeine on and Chrome, Opera, Firefox full screen, and it would still go to sleep. What? That's very interesting. Something's wrong with caffeine in that case. Maybe you had decaf. Brain doesn't use a DE. I see everything in C matrix like Neo. That's right. What did I watch the other day? Constantine kept on making Neo jokes to the whole thing. And also had trouble updating the kernel without my system locking up or weirdness. All right. Oh no. What's up, Katie? Want to come up? You want to come up? Yeah. Hello. Oh. This guy kept stealing my chair again today. He's just like, I'm all over that chair, man. There you go. All right, kitty cat. All right, Ghost BSD is nice. There you go. Ubuntu is the best. All right. Endless comment was said with sarcasm. So did mine. Distribution for DistroTube? You mean Mankini Linux? What? Mankini? What? Am I missing something? All right. One thing swap was the issue with suspend. Is it suspend to RAM? Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. 32 gigs of RAM swap should not be an issue either. Cannot revert to anything less than 5 because of the hardware. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably post that in the Mint forums. I don't even use suspend on any computers. You asked me about suspend on Linux? I don't know. I don't use suspends or hibernates or anything. I let the screensaver go off, or if I'm going to be away from the computer that long, I just shut the thing down. That's what I do personally. So I can't be much more help than that, but I know if they ask in the Linux Mint forums, someone will be able to help over there, I think. Or you could actually ask in the Discord server support section, or which one, the troubleshooting section, and see if anybody has any ideas there too. Manjaro drops deepen. Yeah, you can still get deepen on Architect, but yeah, it did drop the official deepen desktop environment. You can still get it on Architect though. Think about Clear Linux compared to Manjaro for gaming. Okay, I do not play games, so I can't answer anything about gaming other than, you know, old titles. I did get I was able to get Worms running on Linux Mint, but I cannot get any Wine application game running on Linux Mint. So I have a hard drive that's dual booting Linux Mint for Steam games and Pop! OS for Wine games. But between that one hard drive on 2 operating systems, I can get all the gaming I want done at once. So beautiful. Loving it. All right. Did the update with the terminal after reboot? It was just an error in code. Never seen that. Oh, the other part of that one, where was it? And Clear Linux, I don't think maybe I did look at Clear Linux. I don't remember Clear Linux. Caffeine, that would explain a few things about Switch. Yes, caffeine. Yay, let's caffeine. Caffeine. Hey, caffeine. All right. Got my goat herding drone. There you go. Do have an Intel processor. Okay. Let's see. I'm on kernel 5521. All right. Don't understand is why kernel 414 is supported until January 24, yet the newer ones don't come close. It is super LTS. Come on. Dun, dun, dun. Super LTS kernels. Rather use Manjaro than Clear Linux for gaming yourself. All right. Very few issues on a Manjaro budgie as far as games go, unless we're talking about old hardware on my older machines. XLTS, them. Ultra long-term support. That's right. Super long-term support. SLTS. That definitely sounds better than XLTS. SLTS. Call it salts. Salts? I don't know. What do you think, Kitty? Do you want some kitty treats? Does Kitty want some kitty treats? Does Kitty want some kitty treats? Does Kitty want kitty treats? I bet Kitty wants kitty treats. Can I have my mouse pad though? I want I'm going to give you kitty treats. I want my mouse pad. All right. Oh, he's being aggressive today. He's going after that thing. Get it. All right. We got one more for you here. And I got one for this camera over here. Yes, we do. Gosh, we're going to kill little kitty, don't we? Yes, we do. Now they're going to be taunting you the rest of the night, kitty cat. There you go. You can have your cat pad back now. There you go. You have your cat pad back now. He's like, no, I got my kitty treats. I'm out of here. Like, see ya. He's such a fair weather friend, that cat. He's just like, you know, I don't care, dude. Just, I got my kitty treats. I'm out of here. Just later. Later, bro. Later. Cat just beats himself on the desk. Yes, he has. It's the best for gaming, basically. Papal says Manjaro. A lot of people are saying Manjaro. Some people are saying Pop! OS. I was not able to get my Steam game running on Pop! OS, but I was able to get it running on Linux Mint. But I was not able to get Wine games running on Linux Mint for some reason. Not sure. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to try Manjaro. Give Manjaro a try. See if I can run everything on Manjaro. That'd be fun. Okay. Kitty Cam must be like Garfield today. Yep. Lutris is a way of installing Windows games with scripts that set up Wine and Proton for you. Very cool. I'll have to try that sometime. Thankful Humorous Games has native Linux versions. Most of their games on Steam when my great-nephew gets old enough to play them. There you go. Not just Wine. You can use Steam games. All right. Pop! OS is good for NVIDIA hardware. Yeah, if you're running NVIDIA, definitely look at Pop! OS. That is definitely a valid statement there. That's for sure. Why, hello, Maria. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Okay, I've heard anything from the Peppermint team about the future. I have not. So ISO will have NV44. All right, see you later, Farron. Good night. Tried installing LTS kernel 5.4. My graphics did not like it. Man. Yeah, I don't know. My only issue with fonts is I just can't find enough of them. Just fonts everywhere. All right, guys. I think we're going to go ahead and drive this ship on home. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We will be back tomorrow with our supporters stream. Yes, I did pick that up, Papal. I did pick that up indeed. Yep. Let's see. Suspend my PC at night rather than shutting it down. Yeah, I cut power to everything in my office at night. Major savings on electricity. In fact, it's hilarious because my rate of power consumption is almost, I think it's about 30% lower than my neighbors. My neighbors work all day and are never home, and I work from home all day and I'm always here. And somehow I still have a 30% lower power rate. Our power meters are right next to each other. So I watch our power meters from time to time and see how much more efficiently I'm running on power, which is quite remarkable being it's the number of computers that I have on in my office at any given time. But still, I managed to cut my power back significantly. A lot of the reason is we consume a ton of power just by keeping power strips turned in. So when you shut everything down and shut off the power strips, it's very well for, works very well for the power company. But anyway, that is that. We should have some announcements on the science fiction book, hopefully by the end of the week. So our status, we are done with week 1 of the beta read through. And so I'm getting the feedback through, which I was supposed to actually have integrated all those things in Monday or Tuesday, but I got so busy with client work, so haven't done it yet. I'll do some of that maybe tonight or tomorrow if I get the chance. Then I'm going to be putting some of those in. I have right now the supporters are having a look at the current website stuff. So I'll have a website and a mailing list information out soon if you're interested in information about the book. So it is a pure secular. Realize I'm a Christian. I do Christian authoring stuff, but this is not faith-based at all. It's just a pure secular, nonfiction, science fiction book, or pure secular science fiction book. What could this brain that brings you all these crazy news topics on the weekends be cooking up? So anyway, that is coming down the pipeline. We're also going to be reshooting the cover designs on Friday. So you guys, the supporters and the people on the beta reading team have already seen the proposed book covers. I will probably be able to unveil what at least the working version of that is, but we're actually reshooting all the backgrounds. I have somebody in town here who's actually going to model it for me so I can actually have a picture of a person there rather than creating a person in the picture. And we're going to get a picture of the thing without the Wienermobile in it, which I really want to try and write that Wienermobile in. But yeah, if you guys missed that, let me grab the pictures for that. For you guys that stayed on late, you're in for a treat. So I went over to Penn State campus because the book has a lot of cross interplay over with over with campuses, right? And so I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and shoot some photos on campus so that I can go ahead and use those to have as a backdrop. And so I get over there for the perfect scenery that I wanted to use. And what is in the background? The Wienermobile. Okay? The Wienermobile. I kid you not. Okay, I just got to find where I put those pictures. Oh, I'm in the wrong folder. Hold on. All right, back up. I need to go into this folder. Where are we at? Okay. So, desktop view. Nah, we'll do web browser view. It'll be the same either way. All right, so I go over to take the photos here, and literally this is kind of the photo that I wanted to use to set the scene of the picture. And what you'll notice there, right in the background, that's the book cover there, right in the background is the Wienermobile. So I literally have the Wienermobile in the picture shot that I wanted to use for my book cover. So, yeah. So that was a fun day. Here's a more zoomed out shot. And then there are some other designs. So actually, I kind of liked this scenery here for the book cover as well, but I really wanted to use the other court as better. So yeah, we went over here, took a photo of this, and there you go. We get the Wienermobile. So we're going to shoot another one, hopefully without a Wienermobile in the background, and we're actually going to have somebody there in the book cover, and then that'll be fun. So stay tuned for that. If I have all the ducks in a row and I get all of the copy done, then I will release the mailing list information for that book on Friday at the news is what I'll probably end up doing. So anyway, a couple more comments. Hey man, how's it going? Love the channel. Well, thank you, Jimmy. It is going very well. I hope you are doing good as well. Suspend is limited power, but less on hard drives boot up sequence. Yeah. 4 shirts at once doesn't hurt either. Okay. Salient OS, excellent for games. All right. Okay. See you guys. And a sci-fi book. Yes, we have a sci-fi book coming. What do you think of the Intel Linux distro? I think it's called Clear Linux or something. Yeah, I did look at the Clear Linux. I wasn't a huge fan of that, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll have a look at it again sometime. It's fine, however, some software you may not find in it. Yeah. I'm showing 60 presently. Endless OS, over 14 gigabytes for the software. Yeah, so the reason is it's designed for an offline setting. So you download the whole thing somehow with your offline internet. You download the whole thing, and it's designed to function without being on the internet to give you a current world snapshot of multiple huge databases, including I think Stack Overflow, Wikipedia, several other databases and things are there so you can access things without having to go online. That's why it's so big. See you later, Vince. Yep. Is the book open source? The book is all designed with open source software. So I write, when I'm doing my writing, all of my writing and authoring is done with open source software. And I actually have a project for that called Writing Done Right, which the website is writingdoneright.net. And the YouTube channel is youtube.com/Writing Done Right. So what I do on this channel is I teach people how to write and produce books entirely using open source software. So just today, I released a book on how to use CSS to style ebooks. And so each one of my videos there are going to have an article attached to it. So this is the one I just released today. So basics on using CSS, how to do your different elements there, and just the most common things that you'll find inside of using CSS inside of ebooks. So lots of stuff over there. If you're an author, I do use open source software for that. In fact, that is quoted and referenced in the front of my books. But yes, indeed. Here, Clear Linux makes AMD CPUs even faster. I don't know. I hear Everclear Linux will put you on the floor. Okay. Tried Linux Lite, not too bad. Hard drive video works in VLC, not buggy so far. All right, guys. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. So we will catch you guys later. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful evening. And we'll see you tomorrow with a supporters stream.